Erfan and Seymour and Audrey too. And I hope you're ready for a very spooky episode of User Friendly. Woo! Hello! Hello, friends. Welcome to a Halloween episode of User Friendly. I'm your host, Erfan Eligio. I'm joined with my friend...
Seymour and Audrey too.
Hey, Seymour, feed me.
Oh, hold on.
High production show here. We should have pricked your finger for real and had
Yeah.
you drop blood into its mouth.
I know.
If you get Roberto's costume, here, this is for you. Put your hands on the TV. You got one of these.
You're the one that thinks everyone instantly gets Spaceball references.
Everyone knows what Spaceballs is.
It's so obscure that when you see somebody playing Barf at a con, you run up to them and tackle hug them.
That's because I want to be there first, because as soon as everyone else sees that Barf is there,
Yeah.
they're going to like totally line up and I'm going to miss my chance.
Well, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween! Oh!
So, how are you?
I'm so good. What? Oh, User Friendly.
Yeah.
The podcast that comes to you weekly, talking about all things Greek, our favorite stuff on the web, and our favorite technology. What a week for technology.
Do that all over again, but with scary puns. All things
Squeak.
squeak.
Our
favorite
favorite
spider
stuff
webs.
on the spider web, and our favorite breakneck.
What?
It rhymes with tech. I'm going for it.
Okay. So, how's your
Put
week
this
been,
guy
man?
up so I can see my
You
face.
look like Wesley Snipes in White Man Can't Jump.
Wesley Snipes Mario costume. If Wesley Snipes was wearing a Mario costume, it would not be this one. Good week. Dude, busy week. Last week?
Oh my
Woo!
gosh, yeah.
You guys don't know. When we have to do 2 podcasts in 1 week,
Not
It's-
us, you.
yeah, sorry, me.
3, technically.
3. I did 3 podcasts last week.
Oh,
It was
boo-hoo. You're not
tough.
Leo Laporte level yet.
Yeah. If only I were making his money, then I wouldn't mind. I'd be like, let's do another podcast. Thanks to whatever his sponsor is that he always starts with.
Space Squares.
Space Squares.
Yeah, dude, it's just flown by. I've
Yeah.
been so busy this week. Trying to launch a new site. It's just hectic,
Is that
hectic,
soon? Is
hectic.
that going up soon?
Yeah, it should be. It should be up sometime shortly after this podcast goes
Oh,
up.
you're launching that site.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were just launching some products.
No, like brand new.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you're expecting it to go up tomorrow?
Yeah.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow could be like tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. But yeah, tomorrow.
It's gonna be like when the IMAX came out in December.
Yeah, well,
Here's an Apple joke.
That's the iPhone. The first iPhone was like in June,
in June.
and even Walt Mossberg was like, "Does that mean the very last day in June?" And Steve Jobs like, "Yeah."
I will end you, Malt.
Yeah.
Yeah, busy week, but we got so much new stuff last week. I'm excited. I
Dude.
have all sorts of hardware on the way.
Should we jump right into that recap, or should we recap on last week's news?
Oh yeah, dude, thanks for reminding me. Let's do a little recap of last week first.
Okay.
Because somebody sent this to you, right?
Yeah. So what happened last week? We were talking about the Snuggle House.
Yes.
And our
The House of
friend, our
Snuggles.
new friend Lonnie G.
I wouldn't say he's my friend. In fact, he made me quite angry.
Oh, okay.
He violated me in a way I care not to talk about.
That's why you're wearing that onesie?
Yes.
Well,
He likes onesies.
one of our fans of the show sent us this link. Shoot, where is he? Well, I'll find the name in a bit.
Okay.
But he was on the news, and so was Snuggle House. So we wanted to
Lonnie
show
G
that.
was on the news.
We wanted to show that to you, and we haven't seen that yet.
We have not seen this video.
It's worried a new business could become a house of prostitution.
Oh.
Staff say its product isn't sex, it's snuggling.
That's right. It's called the Snuggle House, and its doors could be opening in a matter of days. NBC 15's
And
Brittany
so will the
McDonald gives
doors
us an
to
inside
your
look at the
butthole.
controversial cuddle business.
It may look like someone's bedroom, but it's actually a business. For a fee, you can get inside and snuggle up with someone. A service people working here say is all about unconditional love.
This guy's gonna be an upstanding citizen, and I'm gonna feel like a big
Whole
jerk.
part of us that gets neglected a lot of the time.
In a typical setting above a downtown Madison bar
That's above a bar.
is the Snuggle House. Inside,
God.
several bedrooms laid out for therapeutic cuddle sessions.
And
We have
rape.
beds, we have couches.
Stress levels go down. You feel better.
There he is!
Anxiety.
Okay.
And a lot of people just kind of dissipates.
Clients pay for an hour of service that isn't restricted to hitting the sheets.
If you want to curl up and lay down and just some good old-fashioned snuggling, you can do that. If you want to sit and talk, if you want to cry on my shoulder, I'm totally cool with that.
Lonnie Johnson's one of 5 employees who says the Snuggle House provides a controlled environment for what he says should be a way of life.
I would love to see everybody do this in general, as a way of living. The legitimacy of a business, can really, it sets people at ease.
They've reached out to the VA, nursing homes, and others who may be neglected of affection.
A safe place people can go to really be
He's gonna
consoled
cuddle an
and
old woman,
comforted
dude.
and feel that warmth of human love.
And that
that
wonderful
doesn't have
feeling
any
of the
undertone.
chloroform going over your nostrils.
But not everyone's
Oh, wait.
convinced.
You kind of wonder what they're up to in there.
The Snuggle House is in the final stages of inspections before opening, but already with nearly 100 appointments made. The city of Madison is concerned the business has a potential of prostitution, but the Snuggle House ensures their services are strictly
Professional
non-sexual.
snuggler.
It's very much like a doctor's office.
Security-wise, protocol-wise, we are covered. And we are not negotiating in any way any of those situations.
In Madison, Brittany McDonald, NBC 50.
There you go.
I'm shocked that place is real, to be honest with you. Like, they
Because the
seem
site
they're-
is so bad.
The site is so bad that I thought there's no way they could be a real business.
Yeah, I agree.
They have 60 appointments booked?
No, over 100.
Oh, wow.
And you're one of them because I booked you for your birthday.
Lonnie G, here I come. He's like, no, here I come. Lonnie, what's put on my face?
He stuffs your hat in your mouth.
Y'all, you wake up with your sock in your mouth and Lonnie G in a silk robe. Just staying there staring at you. My gosh.
Oh, boy.
Did you find who sent that to us?
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Thank you to whomever sent that to us on the internet. Hopefully it's somebody that lives in that area and has booked an appointment.
Yeah, well, no, I hope that they come to Seattle. What are you talking about?
You hope that Snuggle House does?
Yeah.
We should start our own. Called Spoon Club. You come over here, I will spoon you. For $60, I would spoon anyone.
You really?
Like Lonnie G, he's like going to that old folks home and,
Yeah.
and cuddling all those grandmas and stuff.
They probably don't even realize that he's there.
He just goes and lays in their bed for 60 minutes, then invoices the convalescent center.
Lays there. Shoot, I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. They were talking about convalescent homes and stuff.
Yeah.
That's just weird. I mean, who's gonna lay in bed with an old person and snuggle an old person?
Dude, it's just like, who's going to do that to somebody they've never met? Like,
Yes, and especially Lonnie G looked like he's probably late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
Is he gonna get in bed with a woman who's like 70 and sit there and snuggle her?
Yeah, cry on. She can cry on his shoulder. It's all good.
That's really strange to me. Really strange. Anyway, while you're looking for that,
I
let's-
didn't find it. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You know who you are. And
Yeah,
to you,
and it's somebody that tweets us all the time.
oh man.
I suck. Okay.
To whomever it was, thank you. You keep it friendly.
Not too friendly.
But not too friendly. Not like Lonnie G level friendly.
Yeah.
Let's move on because we got a lot to talk about this episode. We're going to be doing our Netflix review here in a little while. But first, you have Mavericks installed.
Yeah.
I have Mavericks installed.
How long after did you wait to put it on?
I
Seconds,
did it Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I had so many podcasts to edit that week. There's no way I was going to frickin' install. I wasn't going to do anything to my machine.
That's good. Yeah, that's one of those things you get tempted to do as a Mac
I really
geek,
wanted to.
right?
I really wanted to.
So yeah, I installed it. I think the day after, overnight, because I was like, I just want to let it go. You know?
Right.
But I totally just jumped the gun because I didn't do any research. I didn't see what was gonna break, anything like that. And actually, I saw an email thing going by from the unofficial Apple weblog, and it was like how mail.app can get totally screwed over in Mavericks with Gmail. And I was like,
with Gmail specifically?
Yeah. And then I asked my friend, I was like, hey, did you have any problems installing it? Do you use Gmail on Mail? And she said, no, there's nothing. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it's just a fluke. And I did it, and it hosed all of my Gmail accounts. All of them said no mail.
Really?
And I searched for mail, and all of them said no mail. And then just recently, it started to come back, but it's still kind of glitchy using Gmail accounts. iCloud,
I haven't had any problem
iCloud
with
and my
Gmail at all.
Yahoo work perfectly.
You have a Yahoo account?
First spam.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
I know. Every time I say that, people like, did you just smell a fart?
What is that smell?
But yeah, so I don't know, man. That's the only problem I've had. Other than that, I'll just do a quick rundown of what I like and don't like.
Yeah?
Do Not Disturb seems pretty cool because sometimes I do screen recordings when I do Let's Play of video games.
Oh,
So
that would be handy,
I need
yeah.
to shut everything off, right? And then, but it's weird though because when Do Not Disturb didn't exist, I used to just go manually and go turn off messages, like uncheck all the boxes for messages to show up in notifications, and uncheck mail. And if you do that now, I think it's a bug. It doesn't do anything. It still shows a notification on my system.
Weird.
So
Maybe there probably are bugs they still need to iron out.
yeah. So it seems like Do Not Disturb is the only way to do that. And then I don't like the battery telling you that your battery's low as a notification. I think that should be prominent on the screen. Did you notice that?
I haven't had that pop up, and actually, I don't even use the battery meter for Mavericks. I use the battery meter from iStat menus.
Oh, okay.
Which is what is all this crap across the top of my screen.
But if you
I
actually
love iStat menus, by the way.
if you went down all the way in battery, wouldn't it tell you like, boom, you need to plug in your computer?
Potentially, but I haven't had it installed very long, so it's possible that my battery hasn't run down.
Now it
that
just
low
seems
yet.
too subtle for something as important as my battery's gonna die.
Yeah, it should be front and center.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something that you could change in notifications, though.
Maybe. And then the last thing is whatchamacallit? Text Expander, which is an app I like swear by to do autocomplete, text and stuff. It broke in Mavericks, but I guess it broke across the board because they changed universal access to something called accessibility. So they changed the name, and then they moved that setting that you need to check on the box to make Text Expander work. They moved that to privacy and security.
I just fixed that problem before you came over.
Did you hear it on the Maccast?
No,
That's
I
the
didn't.
only reason I stumbled onto how to freaking fix it.
I just was like, oh, you know what? My Text Expander isn't working, so I tried to get it to work. Couldn't find out how to reactivate it, and then I just did a search.
They don't
on
have
the internet.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. You had to Google it.
Yep.
But they don't have proper instructions pop up on their app yet.
Well, the instructions are wrong.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
That's what I mean,
totally.
yeah. So that's the last thing I think that I noticed that I didn't like about it. But other than that, it doesn't seem like it did anything crazy. Tags seem completely useless, but
I don't think I'm ever going to use tags.
So what about
Finder
you?
tabs, I really like it so far. I'm waiting to see how much my battery life is affected. Finder tabs is cool. Seymour. I like that. The Maps app that they included now is pretty cool. I kind of wonder how often I'll actually use it, but the fact that you can send maps to your phone
right.
is a really cool feature.
I like it a lot because I don't know about you, but Apple's trained me pretty well with the gestures on the Mac, and so has the iPhone. But Google Maps, maps.google.com doesn't do any of those gestures, right? So you're like trying to move up from like.
Oh, I didn't even know
You're like
that. Yeah.
down south on the map, and you try to go north, and if you do the same gesture on your mouse in Google Maps, it just zooms in.
Yes.
You're like, ugh.
Yes.
And everybody has that problem because they're always zooming in. And this,
Look how this is like smooth as silk.
yeah, this behaves super fluidly.
Silky smooth. Yeah.
So
it's like Lonnie G's daddy's robe.
Yeah. So I like that. I like the interface. I like the UI.
The UI, Apple Maps UI. I mean, Google looks good, but I think Apple looks better. All of the data might take you into a river, or a dam or something. But man.
I was stuck in a ravine. I almost had to cut my arm off.
Oh man, how many hours do you think that would have taken you?
142.
142. This 127 hours too.
Yeah.
This time it's 142 because I didn't even have a key. Just to use a rock.
I had my iPhone stuck in my hand the whole time.
And that's the reason you didn't want to like.
Oh
cut it
yeah.
off.
I could have
Yeah.
easily just dropped it, but no, I didn't want to.
I really do. I know I've said this once already, but it's worth re-emphasizing. Being able to set up a map on Maps on Mavericks and then send it directly to your iPhone, it solves a big problem because I usually search for stuff in Google Maps.
Right.
And there are ways to get it onto your phone. You can email yourself and all that stuff. But being able to, click a link in this app and send it to whatever iOS device you have is awesome.
Yeah, it's
really
really
cool.
That's about it for me.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't really noticed any other really sweet features that I love so far.
It kind of made my messages a little wonky, but I mean, God, what doesn't? It seems like messages
I feel like every
breaks
time,
whenever it feels like breaking.
yeah. Well, it works really reliably for me, but every time I feel like you install like a major update, you have to re-sign into messages again.
Right.
So I had to do that same thing. On a side note, I dropped way too much money on Apple stuff, but
You can jump on this guy with your Mario.
boing! I'm gonna shoot it with a fireball on the way down. So when Ruta came over, I thought this was gonna be part of my costume because obviously it looks like something out of Super Mario Brothers.
Okay, sorry, continue.
Anyway, I got a new MacBook Pro on the way. Hopefully, I'll have that Monday. Super, super stoked
Yeah.
to get my mitts on that. And then I got a time capsule,
Yeah.
which I talked about on the Cult Cast, and everyone could not care any less.
Yeah.
I'm into routing products, so F those guys. And I'm really excited about that. I also got a new router to review from Netgear called the R7000 Nighthawk. That is an 802.11 AC router. And I'm going to try and compare the speeds on both those. And then also the Nighthawk is Time Machine compatible.
Oh, cool.
Interesting, right? You should be able to plug a hard drive in, and it should, marketing speaking here, work with Time Machine. So if that works, that would be really awesome because that means you could save yourself $100
Yeah.
because that's how much. That's the price difference between the time capsule and the R7000. And then once the iPad Mini or the iPad Mini Retina comes out, I'm gonna be getting one of those too.
So you can't
Giving
even
Apple-
you can't order that yet, right?
You can't order them at all, but it's weird because you can go on their website, you can click the one that you want, and then you can click the size that you want.
Yeah.
But then no order now button or buy now button pops up. I think that caught them off guard, to be honest with you. I think they were trying to have that ready because the website is ready. I mean, everything is there, except it's really confusing because you go onto the iPad Mini page and there's no button to buy anything. So once you add everything to like customize like your order, you're kind of left to be like, well, where's the buy now button? It's really confusing.
Oh, weird.
So I think they kind of last minute had to
pull that button out.
had to just be like, it's not ready. Because also at the keynote they said iPad Mini is coming later in November, and that's really ambiguous, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
later in November. What does that even mean?
Well, I mean, still timely enough to get it for holidays, so whatever.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. First world problems, right? I'm getting so much great Apple gear.
Yeah.
Super
Sweet.
excited. Anywho, skis.
So
We should move on to the Netflix review,
Cool.
shall we?
We shall.
Let's do that. Hopefully you guys had a chance to watch Bill Cunningham, New York. It was on Netflix. We announced it last week, and hopefully you guys watched it with us. If not, if you're not going to watch it, you can still hear us talk about it.
You're lost.
It's your loss, chode.
Whoa.
I was going full Chet there, but then I... Rude! I was going full Chet, but I pulled out last minute.
Did we even
I
talk
feel-
about that on the show?
No, but... dude, they know who Chet is. I mean, everybody knows who Chet is, right?
sorry.
From Weird Science.
Continue.
There's only one Chet that I know, and he's in Weird Science.
So,
A documentary, as is the type of movie we generally seem to watch on this show, about a fashion photographer who has spent most of his life, all of his life, living in New York and photographing people on the street wearing clothes of the time. And I think his whole kind of angle is that he takes pictures of people wearing the clothes that people actually wear,
Right.
and not just on the runway.
yeah, not just celebrities.
Not just celebrities.
Yeah, like,
and
he's not a paparazzi type of person.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and nowadays, like, people that hear this now are like, oh, it's like that one guy with that blog. And it's like, yeah, but this guy's been around forever.
This guy's been doing it since like the 50s.
Yeah, and he works for the New York Times. He's not just some kid blogger that you might think we're talking about.
So like when you see like Tumblr blogs,
Yeah.
and there's like street fashion,
Yeah, yeah.
he was the original Tumblr guy,
Right, yeah.
right? And his blog was called New York Times.
Yeah, thank you. Good to
Yeah.
clarify.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. So, do you want to start off giving your opinion?
Sure.
You want to tell us what you think?
So yeah, I guess.
Had you seen this before?
Yeah,
You watched it? Okay.
I found this because I just looked up the New York on Netflix because sometimes I like to see New York. Like I like.
Have you been there
the
before?
look of it? Yeah, I've been there before.
It's incredible.
So
It
I
really
just
is.
was like, I was really pulled in from the beginning because this has a lot of New York in it. You know,
Uh-huh.
the title is very appropriate. Yeah, this really struck me as just a really interesting story. I mean, I think I really liked the stuff mainly about his career and how he was just so passionate about photography and about clothes and about, you know, taking pictures of what was actually going on. And he's kind of a quirky person. Like
kind of.
yeah, I mean,
My gosh.
he's like in his 80s now, but he's running around New York, you know, like a young man running around, taking pictures on the street. He rides a bicycle everywhere. He wears like the same outfit every single day, right?
He lives a very simple lifestyle.
But, yeah, and he lived in Carnegie Hall at one of these tiny little studio apartments that was basically just like file cabinets.
He like lived in his office.
Yeah,
pretty much.
basically lived in his office. Like it's such a contrast to him going to like fashion shows and like all these extravagant parties. Because he also does a column that is for like kind of the socialites of New York, and
Yep.
he does the on the street column. But I just thought it was interesting because like he's very kind of like set in his ways. He still uses film. He kind of like has people help him do things like the web stuff that he has to do. But I mean, I just thought I liked it a lot in terms of like this guy just has so much joy from doing this thing in his life. And I don't know. I really like the movie a lot. I think. Well, I'll let you hear. I want to hear your opinion, but I want to go into a little piece after that.
Yeah, I liked it too. I would say that I'm in like with the documentary. I wouldn't say the documentary is one that I loved, but I love that he's in it because he's such an amazing character. I'm waiting to see what she does. She's gonna bite it and take it and run. He's such an amazing person. He's an idealist. You know, he doesn't really believe in. It doesn't seem like he believes in money. He does all this work for free because he has a love for it, and his ethical and moral standard are so incredibly high. You got to think the environment that he's working in around all these celebrities who are trying to woo you and try to get you to write nice things about them and take their photographs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really interesting when he talked about how he made it a point when he goes to like these extravagant parties and stuff. Like he doesn't even drink a glass of water. Like he won't take anything.
Right.
Because he wants what he does to be pure, and he doesn't want to be affected by the scene.
Yeah.
He just wants to be there to observe.
Where
Take
most people would
photographs.
never like. I mean, I'm.
Oh man,
We're
yeah.
talking about like those people that probably get famous from their blogs that are similar to him. I'm sure they freaking reap all those types of perks. you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
It takes a very special person to turn all
Yeah.
that stuff down. And the fact that he was involved with some very prestigious magazines very early on in his career.
Details
and they would try to
magazine.
yeah, Details magazine, which I used to get a subscription to. I'm sure that was after they sold.
Yeah.
And the fact that he just wouldn't take money from them is so rare.
Because he wanted to like get his real point across, and not compromise anything. So he would like tear up his checks.
Which is a good point. I mean,
Yeah.
if somebody doesn't pay you for something, they have no control over you, right? Because you're like, I'm not getting anything from you.
Right.
You just do whatever you want, which is how he's kind of lived his life.
Mm-hmm.
And such a passion for what he does. It's really kind of incredible. And I remember when they finally talked to him about, have you ever been romantically involved with like a man or a woman? And he was like, honestly, no. And I don't really ever think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's so absorbed in what he does. He loves what he does so much, and he loves his life so much that it never occurred to him to like have a girlfriend or to, want to try to be with like a partner or something. It's very unusual.
You're right.
And he lives in a very unusual city, and he's involved in a very prestigious scene. But even though he has, lived his whole life in this scene, he still seems like he's totally kind,
right,
and unaffected by it all.
That's the thing I like the most is like I felt like the documentary started out in a really good light, and then they tried to make the audience think that he was odd because they were like, well, let's find out, is he gay or is he not? Like, let's dive into his personal life and let's see how much he'll tell us. Oh, are you religious? Like, tell us more,
I think it's an interesting. Did you not like that part?
Like, upon a couple viewings, it was kind of a little bit forced. I was like, is this really what we need to know? Like, I mean, does this really give us more insight on this person, or is this just something that you think that you have to like check off the list?
I don't know the answer to that, but I do think that it's cool that they asked him those questions. I mean, just first of all, just out of like mystique, right? It's like, well, who is this guy, right? He's so good at what he does.
Yeah.
He's so well known for doing what he does. And he's always working. Essentially, he lives in a crappy little space. He obviously only cares about his job and his work.
Right.
So how do you avoid that normal grind that most people end up, having in their life?
Right.
And then also, like, well, if you didn't want a partner, if you didn't see any room for romance in your life, if you didn't want to have a drink, you have this high moral and ethical standard. It's like, where did you get that from? And I think that's maybe why they went to the religious thing. It's like, they were surprised because I remember when he said he went to church, they didn't know that information.
Yeah, most of this stuff they seem to be like, oh,
yeah, you went to church?
Yeah, because it seems a lot of it's just kind of like live, just the cameraman. You can hear the cameraman quite often in this movie.
Oh, can you? I didn't even notice
or
that.
whoever it is, the director. I don't know.
Well, you're gonna make a point earlier. What were you gonna say?
That was the point I was gonna make.
Oh, okay.
There was some. I think there was a lot of funny moments in it. Like I think I think he's really funny. I think that woman Adita that lives in his building is really funny.
That freaking wig that she wears. That wig is so obviously fake. I wonder if she thinks that she's fooling anyone, or if she's just like, I'm so old, I'm just gonna wear a wig and no one's gonna care because I'm this old.
I just like that she was definitely trying to be like, oh, when are we gonna do one about me now? And they're like, we're doing this about.
See, that's the difference between him and so many other people.
Sure.
Like when he was getting that award, and I forget
in
who was
France,
getting.
right?
It was it in France?
Yeah, in Paris.
First of all, he spoke French, which was surprising.
Right, they just like pulled that out.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden he just speaks French, but how he was being honored and he had no idea why.
Right.
Like he didn't even know why they were giving him an award.
Well, he had to go in the front door. I loved that part. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But
to that award show.
Yeah, he was trying to go into this award. I think it was in Paris, and he was like ruffling for his papers, and like the young woman wouldn't let him in. This guy comes up behind the woman. He's like, he's the most important person in the world, and she like pulls him in.
That was really funny.
But when he was getting the award, I'm sorry.
And he just, he just didn't even understand why he got it, and he was trying to tell somebody else at that award ceremony that they should be giving this to you,
right?
Like not to me.
Yeah.
Like all I do is take photographs. He's a very different kind of artist, but he is an artist for sure. I think.
Definitely, and like that's the thing where. I think that a lot of people are like, oh man, like why wouldn't you want to be rich and famous and blah blah blah? And those are like those things that really don't fulfill you at the end of the day. Like
they're fleeting.
And if you get all of your joy and you're just so content with your life and you're in your 80s and you're still loving it, like of course you like if you can have that life, that's what we're really looking for. We're not really looking for like money and fame. We're looking for that other
Speak
thing.
for yourself here, but yeah, okay.
But it's because we think that that's what's going to give it.
Yeah,
to us,
you think
know?
that you're gonna get the contentment that he
Yeah.
has from those things.
Exactly.
But yeah, I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people out there who have a lot of money who are very unhappy.
Yeah, definitely. Or they picked the wrong career because somebody told them you're going to make the most money out of doing that, so you should do it.
Yeah, like all the petroleum engineers of the world.
Yeah, that.
I keyed. I'm sure there's some that are actually terribly happy. Hey, even if you're not happy, at least you're making like 130 grand a year. That's gotta help. Yeah, so I think that the reason I like this documentary so much was because, well, two things of him, but the second thing is I love looking at photographs from like decades past.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll search like I think it's the Library of Congress. They have all these amazing black and white images from like the 50s and 60s, and he has an amazing, I would argue one of the most amazing collections of work in photography, because he has documented, I mean, New York, which is a mecca for fashion, right? For 50 years.
Yeah.
And he can document the history of the United States and all the fashion that probably trickled out into all 50 states.
Yeah.
And probably
And then
starting
the
in New
world.
York and then the world. And he has all these amazing, images of that history. That is really incredible.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Like his work, that catalog of work in his little studio space, I don't know where it is now,
Yeah.
that should be part of the Library of Congress, I think.
I
Like,
agree
it's
with
that
you,
important.
man. Because, yeah, I mean, think about it. The only other real way would be if you scour for all sorts of fashion magazines or something. Or movies for a long time. That was the reflection of the times.
Those are not even a true...
Right.
Yeah, they're not a true picture of what it was like. It's a director's rendition or somebody's rendition of what it was like. Like these like raw, gritty, stinky people on the street running through the rainstorm. It's like that is what people were actually like.
Yeah, it's like a time machine almost.
It
time
is.
Capsule.
It's a time capsule.
Yeah.
Hey,
Ah.
way to take it all the way back. You did that on purpose.
I bought you one.
Oh, sweet. Yeah,
God, I've been waiting for you to say that.
It's a time capsule. All you gotta do is log on to your Mac, cruise back to the 50s. It is. It truly is. And I just really don't think that there is anything else like it that's out there.
I agree.
At
with
least
you.
not as comprehensive. It's really incredible. And
That's
the
one
cool thing-
person's point of view.
Yes, that is one person's point of view. And it was also special that he didn't understand that his point of view was what made him so different. I mean, he was like, anyone could take these pictures. It's like, no. A photographer, like the eye and the angle and the color and the thing that you focus on, that is yours. Because a lot of people just zoom all the way back and they take pictures of everything because they can't make those decisions. And the really good photographers can focus you on something.
Okay.
And then they also know how to use their camera, but that's not the hard part to learn. I mean, the hard part to really develop is your eye. And I really do think that some people have it and some people don't, and some people can develop it. But he had a really incredible eye.
Yeah.
And he's spent a zillion hours doing it. I mean,
And he's still around, man. Like,
yeah, he's still kicking.
Well, we're talking about him like he's dead, but no, he's still around. And you know what? Another cool thing you can do, and I did this recently, they sort of coaxed him into doing a podcast. So you can go onto the website and you can
New York
listen.
Times did, right?
Yeah, so you can go to New York Times' site and actually listen to his voice while they scroll through photos that he's taken.
Do they still do that?
I found some, so I don't know if it's current, but there was definitely some.
I mean, it might be behind a paywall. Let's see. I can't type
Oh, yeah, good point.
Times.com.
I might have found an older one. I don't remember. But it was kind of cool, though.
Let's see here. Subscribe. No, I don't want you to send me push notifications to New York
Whoa.
Times.
There's so many weird Safari things now.
I know. So yeah, now websites can send you push notifications. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Bill Cunning.
It's their way of getting rid of podcasts altogether.
That's like the New York Times podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, there's still a bunch of stuff. I mean, this is from June. Bill Cunningham. Let's click on this. This is gonna be behind a paywall.
Multimedia.
Oh, nice. Let's just click this.
This is just photos, though.
Oh, is this just photos?
Oh, no, never mind. Looks like there's a 15-second ad.
So let's listen to it real fast.
Okay.
Let's turn it down for a sec.
Wait, is that a new T-Mobile girl?
This is a highlight of Paris Fashion Week.
Oh, okay. When was it? Oh, it was just the
Dude,
other
this
day?
is 2 days ago.
Yeah, this is it.
Hello, this is Bill Cunningham. Today's story is one of the most exciting stories and probably one of the oldest stories in Paris. The black. The fashion world and designers can jump through hoops with all their prints and their colors, and it doesn't mean a damn. Look at the women in Paris during Fashion Week. They're all in black. Of course, look at the black. I mean, it's full of personality. There isn't a dumb black dress in the lot. Since the birth of the little black dress from Chanel in 1922, I think it was, up to that time, black had always been a color of mourning clothes. Now, of course, here we are 70, 80 years later, and it's such a fashion force. It continues. The most exciting place to see it are the guests going to the show of Rick Owen. He's a California designer who's been now working in Paris the last 10 years. And he and his wife brought over for their show, and they were the models of 60 American step or stomp dancers. And they performed and modeled the clothes, and they're not toothpicks. So you see how the clothes work on a normal body, not these straw-like thin women. You know, it was fantastic. You know, it's ideas, innovation.
That guy,
but
jeez.
here you see people wearing it. It's wonderful. And our Russian friend, the lady that was a sensation, the way she dressed each day in Paris, here she is at Rick Owen's show in, I guess, Russian red? Well, I mean, Conrad.
That's like the
red,
white Russian
whatever it
Whoopi
is,
Goldberg.
there it is. I mean, she was a fantastic woman. But look at this woman with the leather corset. It had to be 15 inches tall, and the fur-like sleeve. I mean, it's wild. It's absolutely marvelous what you see. So enjoy it, and this is the magic of Paris.
Wow. That's really cool. I really like these a
Isn't that
lot.
cool?
I like when people dress this kind of way, like just kind of wild and creative. And I love seeing people on the street do it. And it's really awesome hearing him talk about it because I think he might be a genius, honestly. He has such a vast historical knowledge
Oh
of
my
fashion.
gosh. Yeah.
It's just, I mean, he's talking about like when black came into fashion. Who knows that? And he's like, and it was introduced by Chanel and all this stuff. It's like, nobody knows that information. He is a walking encyclopedia of fashion knowledge.
That's one of those things, man. Like, you know, older people that have that knowledge that they can just pull facts out like that.
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with keeping going. You know, if you don't
that's
keep
true,
going,
man.
you that stuff just
You end up eating, you know, sweet corn in a wheelchair and you know, not being all there. I mean, he's so sharp still. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's true. Like, he gets a lot of exercise.
Yeah.
And he's just constantly, he's just on the go all the time. Use it or lose it, people.
Yeah.
Use it or lose it. All right, that's all I got to say about this. You want to add anything else?
No, I think that's all.
Booyah. Do you want to do this phone block thing real fast?
Sure.
Okay.
This is interesting, my friend.
So you wanted to show...
So this is something called phone block, and we'll just watch it.
Okay.
Every day we throw away millions of electronic devices because they get old and become worn out. But usually it's only one of the components that causes the problem. The rest of the device works fine, but is needlessly thrown away.
That's a good point.
Simply because electronic devices are not designed to last. This makes electronic waste one of the fastest growing waste streams in the world, and our phone is one of the biggest causes. So this is a new kind of phone. It's made of blocks. Detachable blocks. They are all connected to the base, and the base connects everything together. Electrical signals are transferred through the pins, and two small screws lock everything in place. So if, for instance, your phone is getting a little slow, you can just upgrade the block that affects the speed. Or if something breaks, you can easily replace it with a new one, or update it with the latest version. Another great thing about this is, you can customize your phone. So let's say this is your phone, and you do everything in the cloud. Why not replace replace your storage block for a bigger battery block. If you're like this guy and love to take pictures, why not upgrade your camera? Or if you don't care about any of this stuff, you can keep it simple and get a bigger speaker. You can choose the blocks you want, support the brands you like, or even develop your own blocks. PhoneBlocks is built on an open platform where companies work together to create the best phone in the world. To set up this platform, we need to get the right companies and the right people involved. They will only get started if there is a lot of interest in a phone worth keeping. So this is the plan. To show them there is an interest for this phone, we need your voice. You can donate your social reach on the website. We gather as much people as possible. On the 29th of October, we send out the blast, all at the same time. Spreading all your voices to show the world there is a need for a phone worth keeping. The more people involved, the bigger the impact. Please visit phoneblocks.com to raise your voice and spread the word. PhoneBlocks, a phone worth keeping.
All right.
Because they didn't spell blocks, B-L-O-C-K-S, I thought this was going to be something terrible. I'll just put that out there. So, let me ask you this.
Sure.
Would you pay for this?
No.
Me either.
You
Do you
don't-
think it's cool?
No.
No?
No. Because I think it's very much like the Instagram camera. I think it's somebody's dream, pipe dream idea that has no correlation with reality.
That's exactly how I feel. I mean, I think it's a really sweet idea, but my gosh, with
riding a
iPhones,
unicorn is a sweet idea.
That would be cool. Do you know how to do that?
But this doesn't have any basis in reality. Where are you going to go to? We're going to go to Philips and RCA and Samsung, and they're going to make blocks for our device, right? And second of all, how does that work? Bluetooth is just a block. Is that how Bluetooth integrates into a circuit?
Well, I
no.
think I don't know if the actual technology.
Wi-Fi, you just pop a Wi-Fi in.
Well, I think technically they could probably build it so that everything is just integrated together.
I'll stop you real quick. I heard that this was flamed on Reddit in like an engineering
Really?
section. Yeah, because they said it.
They're like, there's just no way.
No, it wouldn't work.
Regardless, people flame things all the time, so that wouldn't necessarily make me believe that it's not possible.
Yeah.
But it seems really cool. But just from a design perspective, I mean, that's going to limit everyone to a blocky phone. Like, I'll come out and say, I just don't think people care. People just don't care.
That's
like,
the thing,
they want
man.
an iPhone and...
But they look at that and then that goes, oh, let me tweet that because I want change. And that's all they do. They tweet it.
Yeah, it's like writing "Stop Malaria" on your palm.
Exactly.
It's like,
yeah.
And then being like, "Cool, I feel better."
Yeah, it's like a
donate $5 for a net. Oh no, I don't want to do that.
Oh, definitely,
definitely not.
It's like Coney 2012 type of video. You know? What I
don't know what that is.
Well, they know.
Yeah, you guys know what that is. Of course you do.
But I don't know. It was like Coney 2012 was like this terrorist, and they had like this whole video about like this guy's like killing people and stuff, and it was like people just changed their avatars and were like, "Stop Coney 2012" or whatever. Like,
it ended up being like a movie.
No, it was actually like a hoax thing too.
Oh right. Yeah, I know the whole social media thing. I mean, I think it definitely can be useful. But having everyone send out a tweet on a certain day...
Yeah, it will trend for like 15 minutes and then go away.
It's like the iPhone is a real product that people use, and it's integrated into an ecosystem with a marketplace.
Right.
People are not going to step back 15 years in time to use a device built on an... I guess they might be able to run Android, I guess. You can do that.
That's the other thing is like, there's no company that wants to give up their market share to go this route and start making like... reusable anything. You know, that's the world we live in. They don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's like when we had Kyle Wiens on the Cultcast, and he's like planned obsolescence is a real thing. Like they designed them so that you have to buy new ones,
right?
Because they want you to buy new ones, and that's an unfortunate fact of capitalism. I mean, that's why people aren't walking around wearing leather outfits still, because people don't market for durability. I mean, some companies do. But a lot of these companies, they build stuff that breaks so that when they break, you go buy new stuff, and it keeps them in business. So, and it's an unfortunate thing, I think. But you know, like this.
This actually reminds me of something Bill Cunningham said. He's like, as much as people could say that things like fashion and arguably phones are like fashion, are frivolous, and why put so much time? Why care about it? And he said a really good quote. I thought he said that it's the armor that like lets us get through the chaos in the world every day, and instead of just if you did away with it, he said it was like doing away with civilization or society or something like that. I think some of that is true. I mean, like you like that you're gonna get a brand new MacBook Pro.
I do.
You're super excited about it.
And I'm gonna throw this one into the trash as soon as it gets here.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing is like, sure, the idea sounds fine, sounds good, but when you can't connect the idea to execution, then it's not real. It's just a stupid idea, It's like,
right.
Okay, fine, you have an idea, but Apple had an idea and they made that into the phone.
That is the hard part, right?
Everyone has ideas, man. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, what? You can tweet it now. You can pretend like it's an actual
make
object.
It happen.
You can make a video with a fake phone that makes it look real. Like, who cares?
That is the Instagram camera right there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing that annoys me. I don't like when people make this vapor things,
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he's trying to go for something that he believes in. I think that's cool, but I'm not trying to be a hater. I would be shocked if we ever saw this come to fruition because the amount of engineering effort that would have to go into this.
But it's
maybe
like
he should have been doing a Kickstarter instead.
Right. Well, it's like, don't put your energy into pushing it on other people. Figure out how to do it, There's so many resources of how to do things these days.
Nah, dude, you don't want to do that.
But he just made a cool video and said, "You do it."
Yeah, this is a great idea, and now I need you to go out and do it. Well, maybe if enough people tweet, he'll somehow magically get the money to build this thing.
I'm pretty sure electronics don't work where all you need is a base, and you just plug things into it like Lego.
I don't know, the Lego my ego phone. That doesn't even make sense. Let's wrap up there, shall we? Because we've gone probably 40 to 50 minutes over time.
All right.
So, hey, you guys can always catch new episodes of User Friendly on YouTube. Just youtube.com/User Friendly Show. Also, we're on iTunes, audio and video. Just search User Friendly Show Seymour. I guess little teeth are coming out. Ah! I got my arm gets stuck in there.
Keep talking.
And also, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/User Friendly Show. Hey, if I wanted to learn more about you and Audrey too, where would I do that?
You can go to Twitter, and I'm at Roberto Hoyos, RobertoHoyos, and throwaway.com. We're launching a brand new website. So go check it out.
And I'm at Erfon, ERFON on Twitter, and I would love to hang out with you there. Ooh, yeah. Kind of sounds like the guy from SNL.
It was actually voiced by the lead singer of the Four Tops.
The Four Tops?
Yeah, the Motown group.
I refuse to believe that.
He did voice acting later on.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, that wasn't his voice, though. I think it was probably Steve Martin, don't you think?
No, it really was.
Was it really?
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
That does not sound like a black guy. It sounded like a white guy today.
You haven't heard it in a long time.
I haven't heard it in a long time. That's true. It's probably been 15 or 20 years since I've watched that movie. Anywho, skis, this has been User Friendly. Did we forget anything? I think that's everything.
I'm gonna go down to Spendrix and pick up some nice chopped sirloin.
Must be blood.
Oh, dude,
That's
yeah.
disgusting. Must be fresh. I don't want to hear this. Does it have to be human? Does it have to be mine? Where am I supposed to get it?
Feed me, Seymour. Feed me all night long.
That's right, boy. You can do it.
All right. So,
that would have been great outro music.
Oh, okay, keep
So,
going.
until next time, hey, you guys out in the street, you keep it friendly.